Welcome, everyone, to Healing Healthcare's Authors Tour with your hosts, Dina Redinger and Sharon Weinstein. We're the co-author of the book called Healing Healthcare, Evidence-Based Strategies to Mend Our Broken System. Nurses remain the backbone of healthcare, and little has been done or even studied to remedy a system in crisis. If this is not addressed now, we will suffer. The book is packed with solutions to the problems that plague healthcare systems today. The nurse leaders share their experiences, their thoughts, their evidence, and strategies to ensure the health of our healthcare system. What you find within are actual steps for fixing what we know is broken. And everyone is suffering in silence. We know that. We must get this book into the hands of making those decisions. But before we start, we want to acknowledge you. We also want to thank you for joining us. And we've got viewers across the globe, so please use the chat if you like to respond to us. And if we don't respond to you now, we will. And we're also going to record this session and also replay it. What we have found is that Microsoft's doing a lot of updates. So Sharon and I have found a lot of challenges right now while it's kind of going through some updates. So we will get this information to you. But I'd like to introduce our author for today. This is Kim Evans. She's a CEO, entrepreneur, holistic practitioner. She's the owner of the Institute for Integrative Medicine. Kim is an advanced practice nurse with a passion for helping others to achieve their best, both body, mind, and spirit. She was recognized early in her career that 70% of patients had illnesses that could have been prevented. So she dedicated her life to stopping those preventable diseases. The author of Transforming Healthcare, Healing You, Me, and Our Broken Disease Care System, Kim practices what she preaches by eating healthy, exercising regularly, meditating, and daily prayer, which I love that. So welcome, Kim, to our show today. And, honoring you. And I'd like to ask you out of the gate, tell us, why did you join us on this journey in the first place?
Oh, gosh. Well, as you can see, my whole life's about transforming healthcare. It was 29 years ago that I had that epiphany standing in the intensive care unit going, that could have been prevented. That could have been prevented. And it's like, once you have an epiphany, you can't go back.
Mm-hmm.
So from that moment, I set an intention to transform healthcare. And then I feel like through the years, God has put me on a bigger and bigger playing field for 29 years now.
Yes. And I want to thank you for joining us on our bigger platform, because that's my prayer as well, is that, being a recent patient in a hospital system, you can see where a lot of things are still broken, right? And we still got a lot of silent quitting and just, the needs of nurses and just the system in general. It's just very, it's a hurting system. Sharon and I decided to join this journey and created this journey because we realized that you're going to give it 20 more years. There may not be anybody taking care of us when it all is said and done. But you've done a lot throughout those 29 years. How do nurses hold the solution, and what models do you recommend?
Well, of course, we focus on wellness and disease prevention. And this is what our basic nursing courses have taught. We were taught how to look at the whole picture, body, mind, and spirit, and how integral each component of that is in a person's well-being. And yet, in the current structures that are more medical-based, disease-based, profit-driven systems, there's no structure, time, or space to address those social determinants of health, the relationships that patients have or don't have, and how that impacts the overall health and well-being. So we must create a model. Really, I call it a nursing model because it is from our basic nursing, that's based on wellness and disease prevention. All of our mothers taught us that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And yet in medicine, do you realize only 5% of research dollars go to wellness and disease prevention? 5%.
That's terrible.
It makes me crazy.
Yeah.
So, again, if we turn that around and moved to a model of service and a model based on wellness and disease prevention, driven by nurses, or, even if it's not necessarily nurses, but people who are interested in a collaborative teamwork approach where every discipline can thrive and achieve their highest good, that will only result in patients having an increased well-being.
Yeah, and it also reduces the cost of healthcare, right?
Tremendously.
Yes, which is what everybody's looking at, right? It's the cost
Yes.
of systems. The systems they're being hurt with is incredible cost containment. They're having to deal with, whatever cost challenges they have in order to survive. So it's kind of we're on a roulette. It's almost like a running wheel that we have right now. And certainly figuring out how to stop it and doing something different is what you've done within your
Yes.
career, and what have you seen? I just want to ask you kind of off the script, what have you seen in your 29 years when you decided I'm going to do holistic medicine? What's the shift you've seen?
Well, certainly since COVID, there's been a huge shift. I mean, the shift was happening all along, but
Mhm.
COVID has just really accelerated
Right.
the shift. Because, what happened is that, as you know, people couldn't get in to see their physician or couldn't see their healthcare provider. A lot of things, in terms of traditional care suffered.
Mhm.
And the biggest thing is that people realize they have to take personal responsibility for their own health. They cannot rely on a provider to say, this is what you need to do this,
Right.
and especially because the healthcare system also shifted into more of a reactive, responsive, disease laden system.
Right. Right.
So, that has, our phone is ringing off the hook of patients who want to come and see us do a
That's
more,
awesome.
in fact, we took on 2 more nurse practitioners and a physician because, the volume is just.
That's amazing. That's great. Well, I will tell you, I had a homeopathic physician help me get through COVID. And I will tell you, it was because of her that I didn't end up in a hospital. So we took every sort of, she threw the gamut at me. So I really appreciate what homeopathic medicine really can bring to the table. For sure.
Well, and even just simple, for instance, we found that vitamin D, we found that became so critical during
Yes.
COVID. And of course, we emphasize that tremendously and keep patients' vitamin D levels between 50 and 70. And then through that whole first year of COVID, none of our patients got COVID.
Wow.
And I really don't think that was a coincidence.
Yeah.
I feel like based on wellness and disease prevention, we emphasize eating healthy, exercising. It was a great time during COVID to get out and walk.
Yeah. You had
You
no
know,
other thing to do. It's the only thing you could do.
exactly. And,
Yeah.
I'd have patients who'd say, oh, yeah, I gained COVID-15. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
This was a great time to walk, exercise. And as I said, the keeping patients' vitamin D level, that
Yep.
tremendously supported their immune system.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I love
and
that.
even to today, of course, the second year people did get COVID, but no one in our practice died from COVID, nor did their family.
That's
So
amazing.
again, I don't think that's a coincidence.
No, I don't either. And what are the ages that you have in your practice?
Oh, it's, I mean, I'm an adult nurse practitioner. So of course, I don't see patients under 18 years old,
Right.
although their parents come. So we teach the parents how to do healthy nutrition, exercise, etc. But, we have patients from 18 all the way up to, I think my oldest patient right now is 96.
Wow. That's incredible. So your statistics speak volumes. That's all I can say. My last question for you, what's the key takeaway from your chapter? One thought that would lead to that transformative change.
I think the key point is that nurses are the solution to transforming healthcare. And we've got to create models based on wellness and disease prevention.
Yeah.
And, I really don't think there's a nursing shortage. I think there's a lack of nurses who are willing to work in an abusive,
Right.
workforce.
Right.
It doesn't recognize their value, doesn't allow nurses to practice to their full extent of the whole body, mind, and spirit.
And I couldn't agree with that more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a ton out there. And, when we look at, over 600,000 nurses are planned to leave here in the next couple of years. That's a lot. We better get ready, right? We need to do something. So I think engaging them and making sure that they're well cared for is so critical to being able to keep them and even to re-engage, maybe in something that is, like you said, kind of that higher power, right? Something different, something transformative. So I think what you've done has been great. And Kim, I want to appreciate you for being a part of our healing healthcare journey. And I want to tell you how much I appreciate everything that you're doing on your end, because I do believe homeopathic medicine is wonderful. And it's got a great place in this transforming healthcare. So I wanted to thank you for that.
Yes. Yeah, it's fully integrative, that's for sure.
Yes, yes. Well, thanks so much. Healing healthcare. Kim, can you hold up your book? Kim got her book the other day, so we just want to show you what the book looks like, Healing Healthcare. And let me tell you, we got some power-packed people in there. So we got 26 authors, and it's going to be available to order. Thank you so much, Kim, for being a part of this. Thank you for holding up the book, and thank you for your work in transforming medicine. You guys take care and make it a great day.
Thank you. Thank you.